this video of Bill Cosby, from back in the Gap, and Bill Cosby was just really cooking about the propaganda that them folks like to do against us versus when it comes to them when crimes are committed. Let's go ahead and play that.
You tell me and prove to me that black people are violent and that they're going to take over, and I can open up the New York Daily News and show you white people who are killing their daughters, their husbands, their wives, their children, killing each other off. Well, if we put that in the paper and make it black and white, which is where the whole thing happens. It's in the paper. If a black man does something, it says, John Jones, black list, said black, 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 and did the black, black. Now, if a white man does it, it isn't white man Jones. It's just a man. Nondescript, just a regular old raggedy man went out, killed his 2 daughters and his wife, and shot himself. Now, if he does that, then everybody seems to just either sympathize with it or let it go out the window. But if a black man does it, then any white bigot can point his finger and say, see that? There they go again. Well, that isn't right. It isn't right, and it isn't.
Yeah, Bill Cosby was cooking, and that's part of the reason why I do what I do, because I noticed that a long time ago. Anytime they do something, they make them, they sit up here and go air out a school. Oh, it was mental illness. Oh, his mama. Oh, his dog died. Oh, he didn't have a family. They sympathize with people that commit mass acts of murder. But let Tyrone shoot one person and the whole black race did it. All these black men. Black men are so violent. You never hear them say white men are violent. You never hear that at all, right? And it's statistically proven that white male criminals, commit a lot of heinous acts. If you really want to look at the crimes they're committing, just do research. Heinous crimes that black men aren't even doing. But yet we are labeled as the criminal of America. When you get out of the poor and among us, and you get to middle class and up, black crime is just about non-existent. It's just about. Black crime is more so related to economics. And if black people economics got right, then you wouldn't have no mass incarceration. Think about it. You don't have a bunch of middle class and upper class black people in the prisons or in the state jail. Who do you have? You have people that come from, struggling backgrounds. They had to commit, they commit crime because of economics, and that's really what it is. They rob somebody homeless to commit a crime or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's economics. That's why I'm a big believer of, if we as black Americans get our economics right, if we look at and do an inventory of what we're spending, because I keep preaching this, do an inventory of what you're spending personally as a brother or a sister. What you're spending on just everything from products you buy, streaming services, what kind of car notes you're paying, what kind of clothes you're buying. Just pay attention to everything you're doing. And I promise you, we can literally reduce our spending probably about 30 to 50% if we just look at what we're spending. And that money that we were spending, start saving money, right? Because we got so much money to shop, but we don't really save anything as a people. And that's wrong. That's why we don't, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to crime is proximity. That's number one. And if you get out the quote unquote low income area, right? Hood, you go to a black middle class area, you don't have no crime problem. You don't have none of that. And that's why they focus so much on keeping us down economically. They can't fill their prisons with black men if black men have got a decent job. This is why they want to, if they get you in their clutches with a felony, this is why they want to literally ruin you. Well, you can't get a job because it's gonna halfway force you to do crimes to go right back into their system. It's wicked. It's extremely wicked. Now, this upcoming administration, if since Donald Trump himself is considered a felon, felons' rights groups and all of that needs to go and tell Trump, hey, get rid of that. Well, we can't get a job. We can't get an apartment. Man, do something about that. This is your opportunity to get rid of it. And black men who have felonies need to be on the forefront talking to Trump about that. Take advantage, because anybody else that come after him, I don't think you're going to have an opportunity. Do that because he can relate to that. About people calling you a felon and putting, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, move when the water's trouble. But propaganda is a real thing. It's a real thing. And these people wage propaganda all the time. That's why you have people that don't even know FBAs and have this attitude about us because of what? The propaganda these folks put out about us. Oh, black people are gang members. Oh, they're criminals. You met us. What are you talking about? And that's such a small set of our community. The majority of black people you meet aren't criminals. The majority of any group of people aren't criminals. But they use propaganda so much because they want everybody to have anti-black racism toward us. You understand? So that's why I'm so glad we live in an era when nobody's paying attention to the mainstream media, their media. Nobody's paying attention to their propaganda. Everybody look at them, their propaganda is wicked. And nobody believes them and they can't stand it. And it's a beautiful time for all of us who are in independent media, especially black media.